Okay, I want to ask you a few questions about what we read. So, before I ask you questions, hopefully you've gotten, I don't know if you can see it because I've got my big bay window here and my curtains open. John Smith's coat of arms. I want to show you something on his coat of arms. You might notice, let's see if I can do it this way. This phrase, vincere est vivere. That literally, that's Latin, and it means to overcome is to live. To overcome is to live. Can you imagine why Captain Smith might have wanted that on his coat of arms? I don't know if it was actually his family's coat of arms. Before he went to the New World, and did he live up to his the saying on his coat of arms, to overcome is to live? He went through a lot of trials. We know from the story of Pocahontas, and now we're learning from the story of Jamestown, and he overcame them. Well, that reminds me of a verse in Revelation. It says, in the book of Revelations in the Bible, it says, and they overcame him, that's the devil, and they is us, by the blood of the Lamb, that's Jesus, and the word of our testimony. So what we say, we overcome trials in our lives by what we say. And Captain John Smith, it sounded like he was saying the right things. And I want to ask you just to review a few questions about what we were reading. So, do you think that some of the hardships that Captain Smith went through, some of the challenges that he went through, getting taken by the Indians, going hungry, having to be a leader of the group of people, and maybe some of the people not wanting to listen to him, but knowing he had good ideas and other people didn't have such great ideas, did that help him grow inside? Did it help him have good character qualities? Did it help him to develop leadership? He had to learn how to work with people. He had to learn how to overcome a lot of challenges. So that's his motto on his shield. You can look at it on his family crest. To overcome is to live. I looked that up, and some people, I guess it's pretty, it's a common motto for people in the military, for soldiers. And they even get it on t-shirts these days, even in the 21st century. So that's interesting. I thought, wow, either James Smith, don't know who came up with that motto. Obviously somebody before James Smith, because it's a Latin motto, so way back in history. But I want to ask you just a couple of other questions. What skill, do you remember what was the story, or who was writing in our book, Jamestown? Whose journal were we reading? Do you remember? Do you remember his name? Let's take a look. I remember, but I want to find the page and look back. Show it to you. Remember we talked about a journal and what's it used for and what we do different things with. That was the picture on that page of the journal. So here's the picture. And it was Isaiah Worth's journal. And so Mrs. Redfield, the lady who was reading the journal, or reading the story, she was his daughter. So Isaiah Worth was the author of that journal that we're reading in our book of Jamestown. What skill did Isaiah Worth possess? What did he have? What were his skills? Remember, why was he on that ship? He was one of a few 6 master carpenters. That's right. So he had the skill of building, and he used those tools that I showed you, that the book showed us, hand tools to saw and cut and build things. He helped build that fort. He helped build houses. He built a lot of things. He worked on the ships if they needed work. So I'm going to ask another question. What were the 2 leading causes of death in the colony? Do you remember? Why did people die? They thought it was a disease, but Captain Smith said it was probably bad water, bad food, and bad diet. He also said that it's caused by hot weather, hard work, and bad diet. But what was another reason people died in this colony? They probably died of Indian deaths if the Indians killed them. They, some may have died of an accident, but I think that's answering the question, the 2 main causes. How many of the original 100 settlers survived? Remember, I finished reading that? He was one of just a few that survived. Let me look back at that page. You can look down with me. I remember, but I want to see if I can show it to you. Yep. Actually, I'm not sure if I do remember. Yes. Now I know. Oops, you're seeing my bookshelves and my china cabinet. There are but 38 of us from the original 100. Wow. That's not very many. Only 38 from the original 100. But 2 more groups of settlers had come. So there were still a lot of people in the Jamestown colony. In Jamestown. But only 2 of the original 38. Let's see. Is there any other questions I wanted to ask you today? Probably not. Okay. I'm getting ready to make the video on our next planet. Who knows what it is? It's not Mercury. It's Venus. You got it. All right. See you soon.